Hello.
Hi.
That's all I've got. I can't remember how to introduce a podcast anymore. It's been, what, 3 weeks?
We suck. We're so sorry.
We do suck. I will say, for the record now, it is the majority or entirely Ella's fault.
It is so not. That is so a lie. Excuse you. The reason we went on a hiatus at all is because you were like, oh, I'm off to do a thing.
And then you were off to do a thing, and then we were both off to do a thing.
True. It's been a bit of a crazy few weeks.
So on average, it averages out to be your fault
No,
as well.
excuse you. No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And you should respect this because I am currently ill.
This week in FMUF.
Yes. Also, I need to apologise now because I will sound like I have surpassed puberty and hit my midlife crisis already throughout this entire thing and taking up chain smoking because Empire has killed my lungs.
Yeah, these past 3 weeks, Ella decided to pick up chain smoking.
Yep. 40 a day.
We're trying to get her help, but
yeah, it's just not working. God, I love it.
I just love it so much.
I just love it. I was trying to think of like cigarette brands to name drop in that. To make a joke about it, but I genuinely can't even think of one. I'm that useless.
We're the wrong two people to.
We really are.
Think about that.
We so are. I think we proved that at E1, just sort of sitting in that tent while loads of people discussed smoking and backing, and we're just there like,
yes.
I like alcohol. Yes, that is my drug. I am badass. Am I badass yet? Am I memes yet? How do cool kids?
Speaking of Empire, though, I think there was an Empire mention.
There absolutely was, Charles.
Yeah, so this previous weekend we had E2, the second event of the year for Empire.
Yep.
Your voice is still recovering. I feel like I'm physically still recovering.
Oh yeah.
Maybe mentally a little bit too.
I'm not surprised.
But all in all, I'd say it was a pretty good event.
Yes, it was a fantastic event.
The weather...
I'm not sure.
After the last event, which was Mudpocalypse,
yeah,
it would never stop raining. The ground was always about a foot thick with just mud. This event, I would say, was probably almost perfect LARPing weather.
Yeah, it was...
I'll go out on a limb and put that on the record.
Yeah, it was absolutely great. It wasn't too hot for any of it either. It was sort of... For anything, it was just temperate, which was fantastic.
It was like sun, but with clouds. So it wasn't always just risk of going full-on spanked lobster.
Yeah.
Sunburn, like it was my first ever. So this event marked my year anniversary of trying LARP. Yay! I'm an old withered veteran now, like yourself.
Yes, exactly. You passed the 1 year mark. You survived a year.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Hunty.
Day.
Your LARP birthday. LARPeth day.
LARPeth day. Yeah, so my first ever event a year ago, last weekend, was the heat wave event. So it was 30 plus degrees, and it was too much. The heat was too much. Whereas this one was, like you said, it was temperate. It was nice. It even rained like once or twice, but it was kind of like a welcome rain. Like
really was.
I got on my knees and I would just sort of thank the sky for a brief refreshment from above. But,
praise the clouds.
Yeah, praise the clouds. Did the rain dance. I
praise the rain dance.
The sun.
Oh yes. It was a funny one actually because I usually cannot handle the cold in the slightest. Like you know me, I get cold so fucking easily. Yeah. I'm ridiculous. But this past event, I was running around short sleeves, my trousers rolled up to my knees, and just I was fine. Yeah, exactly. I was fine for the entire day, which was a new thing for me because I was actually glad to be chilly at points. Because just running around doing all these skirmishes or just militia work or whatever, and then you're just like, you know what? I'm okay with having a few goosebumps in this instance because I've just been boiling my arse off. Yeah.
Yeah, I was glad it wasn't too hot because I wanted to be able to wear all my kit. I put effort and time into making or purchasing bits of my kit, so I didn't want to have to strip off to just basically the equivalent of the Viking equivalent of jeans and a t-shirt. I wanted to be able to show off some layers and stuff, so it was nice. I did roll up the sleeves, didn't wear my fur-lined gauntlets the entire time, but I did get to wear a decent amount. And like you said, there was those moments where there was a nice little breeze through, and it was like, when the sun set, and you had that moment of, I'm actually cold, and I like it. It was nice. But enough about the weather.
We are so British. You can tell that this is a British Larp podcast, can't you? Because we can rant about the weather for fucking forever.
The weather. Oh, that seems like we're out of time, folks.
Oh, yeah. That's
Join
it.
us
That's
next
an hour
week
and a
when
half.
we talk about the humidity.
Check out my new barometer.
Yeah.
There's a storm brewing, Jacobson.
The cows are lying down.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know how, if we wanted to put any kind of organisational format to this, but we could maybe do like a play-by-play, day-by-day. Ooh, wow, that was good, wasn't it? I made up that. On the
damn, that's
play-by-play,
son.
Day-by-day. Play-by-day by play day?
When did you become a rapper is what I want to know. And when are you dropping your mixtape? Because I would buy that shit. I'm kidding, I wouldn't.
Yeah, if you wanted to just... Because we actually, funnily enough, this event... Because the first event, I think, through pure huddling like penguins for warmth, we spent a lot of time doing similar things. We were hanging around quite a bit.
Yeah.
Jumping from flame to flame, trying to get some kind of warmth. This event, however, we were off doing different things pretty much the entire time. So we could probably spread quite a lot of different highlights into this. So if you want to...
Oh, strange content, yeah. Oh, lordy be. Happened on a Friday. This is the thing. So much happened this past event. It was intense.
Busy bee, both of us.
Legit. I think I saw you about like 3 times throughout the entire thing.
Pretty much.
Oh, it was crazy. And yeah, in fact, no, Friday, big thing that happened on Friday was I joined the militia. Yeah, so that was an interesting time in my life. Wherein I went to find my contact in the marchers to join the militia. Couldn't find him. I was like, whatever. And went to Dunhall to hang out for a bit and see everyone.
Represent.
Yeah, and then this motherfucker, good old Zachary Clayton, as his character Jack, struts into Dunhall, proud as you like, marcher boy up the wazoo, with a full-on fucking posse of 4 other people, and is like, where's Pip? And Ailson was like, say. Nah, bitch. Yeah.
You're rocking up to our hall with a posse. That's code for you're about to get wrecked, son.
Legit. It's literally a case of Ailson squared up to him and just went, turn the fuck around and get out of our hall. Yeah, and we're like, oh my goodness. So I ran outside, basically pegged it from the inside of Dunhall to the outside of it, and just been like, you guys come out here before Ailson fucking floors you, and I will stand there and laugh because I'm an asshole. But yeah, so they came and got me and was like, do you want to join the militia? So we did, and we had to go through an interview process.
Man, yeah, this sounded a lot more official than I thought when you were telling me about this in the field.
It was legit like a job interview. They were sort of going, what would you do in this situation? What would you do in this situation? So if someone got up in your face, for instance, was one of the questions, what you do. And obviously you say one thing, but then the interviewer actually did get up in my face.
Yeah.
And my character is not about that life.
No.
So she legitimately just turned to him and went, fuck off. So I got marked down in my interview for being too aggressive.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not surprised in the slightest.
No, I don't think anyone was surprised, to be totally honest there. But surprisingly, I still got in. Which was... Oh, funny fact though, at the back of the interview, they had sort of a whodunit type situation in which you were given a scenario and you were given 3 suspects and you had to decide which one did the crime.
The done obviously.
Yeah, no, this was the thing. They'd done it. So there was a marcher and there was a Dornish lady and there was a winter marker in a red tunic.
Yeah.
And we were just there like, I'm pretty sure that the winter marker was called Leah Frick as well.
Yes, that's
yeah.
Recent history, just to update on what we're talking about. At E1, Dunharth being my hall in Wintermark, where one of our lovely esteemed members was framed for a series of crimes, namely a Frick Dunning. We all wear red. And that was big news in our hall and aroundabouts, and the militia as well. Some of those were part of the lynch mob that came for him.
Yeah, a lot of them actually.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, reading the back of this case scenario and being like, this seems awfully familiar, and that they've made the winter marker the actual suspect for this hypothetical case here is it's seeming a bit loaded.
Gonna say it here. He's
yeah.
innocent.
He was innocent, yes. Leofric was confirmed innocent, and the case has, as far as I know, been dropped.
Or
but
is he?
Or is he? I don't give a shit anymore. But yeah, so that seemed a bit on the nose.
Yeah,
a little bit. So I was reading it and just went, yeah, they're gonna have made it the winter marker, aren't they? Yeah, of course. But I couldn't say that to the interviewer, so I gave a lot of other reasons instead. So that was one thing that happened on the Friday. Apart from that, sort of ran around for a bit.
Yeah.
Bit of a dickhead. It's a good time.
Fantastic.
Sort of meeting everybody. Oh, and also, obviously, the Liathavan stuff. What was a good thing about rolling into this event after the downtime that happened in the Navarre was where one of our territories got set on fire.
Woohoo!
To kill the Valorn, and also literally half of the fucking nation's trees. Everything burned.
Who needs trees?
Who needs trees? Exactly. We do. We so do. Oh my goodness, we so do. But me and a few of the other warriors of the Navarre were chatting and being like, oh my goodness, fuck winter magic. I'm not going near that for a little bit. Sunny Jim almost got burned alive. Yeah, and then obviously these people who got hurt in the Liathavan were coming in with like Valorn growing out of their arms and falling on the floor, throbbing at the mouth and like
time in, bleeding out.
It literally was a case of time in bleeding out, and they were having surgeons like digging the Valorn out of them and proper giving it screaming in pain at this surgery. Oh, it was so good. Literally around the standing campfire, there were 3 people on the floor being operated on, and it was so fucking intense. It was great. Ugh, amazing. Wow. Yeah, what did you get up to on the Friday?
Oh, the Friday. So, as a winter marker, typical activities include drinking, fighting, and drinking. And my Friday reflected that somewhat. Well, less the drinking part. You see, so this weekend, as you well know, Ella, but to those listening, was my 21st birthday as well as my Larp anniversary. Yep. So it meant, and it was on the Thursday. So Empire, you can turn up on the Thursday, and it's all out of character, but you get to hang out or whatever for that day. And so as that was my 21st birthday, I was meeting up with my very large group / family of individuals that I'm a part of. They were all very keen to get in the birthday spirit for me, and thus alcohol was consumed. Copious amounts of it.
In great volume.
Yeah. Unceasing in its suspension. But so it meant that I was slightly tender on the Friday. No more so than yourself and Sam, who I was trying to keep up with. In fact, on my own 21st birthday, I was trying to keep up with the amount of alcohol being ingested by my close friends here.
Yeah, we got absolutely bollocksed, I believe you're looking for.
Yeah, a little bit. So that was basically the sum up of the Thursday. But yeah, so from that, it meant that on the Friday, I was less inclined to be drinking. But fighting, very much so. So Wintermark, basically, upon time in, we have a big moot, which is getting everyone in the nation to talk about all the things they want to do this event and like all the big stuff, what's happened in downtime, important things. But dear God, does it go on forever?
Yeah, because everyone wants to chat, don't they?
It sets a great atmosphere for all of 30 minutes, but it goes on for about 2 hours, and I'm like, I got things to do, like sitting down in the shade.
Yeah, because everyone wants to chat, don't they? And
obviously, this is all OC opinion.
Of course. Well, is it?
I did sneak off for a wee, and I don't think I came back.
Yep.
But as such, they list out another of key important conjunctions, they're called, which is where you can go through the Sentinel Gate to go fight things. And there are some big ones for Wintermark this season. Basically, one of our home territories, Sermasuak, has been invaded by the Jotun, which is a barbarian nation who are at war with the Empire. Ooh, exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And as such, they had come across a number of key locations, such as Ika's Tears, I think I've got that right, which is a mithril mine, our only one. Oh, we love it so dearly.
Yes.
And so a bunch of Jotun had found that, and so there was a conjunction to go kill all of the ones that had located it, the scouting party that had located it, so they could not get that information back to the main forces.
Oh, shit.
So there were 2, because the Jotun had split into 2 groups of 30, so that it would be harder for us to get them.
Bastards.
So Dunhearth, we were like, we'll take one of the conjunctions, and somebody else can take the other one.
Yes.
And this was probably about 5 in the afternoon. So we went in, obviously OC information entirely, because we went in and with no honor fucking slaughtered and executed a bunch of Jotun, which isn't common practice, because each barbarian nation is quite a living, breathing thing in Empire, so they'll have different traditions. Jotun obviously, they fight very honorably. They want you to fight them with respect. They don't use it. And as such, they don't use any archery, magic. They don't execute or anything. They don't take slaves. If they like how you fight, they'll even like recruit you into their army and get you back to full health, or whatever. They're very honorable people. And we went in and fucking killed every single one of them.
Yeah. Oh man,
it was a haunting moment for my character.
That's contentious.
But we did it.
Lowered it.
And yeah, we were saying very vocally. Ailson was saying very vocally, we take no honor in this. Execute them all. Brilliant. Right. Second group in, from what I heard, they did the same.
Yep.
Later on found out they did let one go.
Oh no.
So essentially that was all for naught. Great.
Oh, son of a monkeys.
Excellent information to know.
Did you ever get who let them go then? Or?
No, the other group was a big mix of other winter markers from what I heard, so can't trust them.
I see.
Yeah, so that was a big one. We went and slaughtered a bunch of orcs on a little skirmish. Besides that, inside my hall we have so I'm Dunhearth Hall, and within there we have the Redfelder, which are our elite warriors in our group. They're sort of defenders of the hall and such. I am a member of that. My character is a member of that. So a couple of key points, because we had our initiations for new members wanting to join this event on Friday.
Oh, good lord, did you?
Yes, but we changed the format, so it's not quite as bad. So there's two things. One, as previously mentioned, last event there was a lynch mob for one of our key members in our hall, Leofric Dunning. So Ella and our characters found out about that before it happened. Found out it was for him. And
okay, OC information entirely, guys.
Yeah,
also,
like I said, this is entirely OC.
Arm waving.
To talk about. Yeah.
Arm waving.
We found out about it, and I headed and told the hall about it. I found Ailson, told him about it before, completely OC reasons and needs that I cannot go into. Yep. I then did not return to that hall when the lynch mob arrived. So that left, and I spoke to Chris, who plays Ailson, about it. I had a conversation. I said there was OC reasons, but I'm more than willing to take an IC hit for it. Basically, that my character betrayed his oath a little bit and therefore was not there for his family at a time of need, because that is awesome roleplay.
Oh hell yeah!
It's a bad thing I did. Awesome roleplay.
Yeah, you can take that.
Redfelder initiations kick off. One of the first things that happens is that Ailson, with his big shiny spear, strikes down my character straight onto his ass.
Yep.
Saying, spouting off all this that, I wasn't there. I went off to get food or whatever. I think we decided it was I'd gone off to get food. Which is really bad.
Classic reading.
Yeah, and he's shouting at me, and then I try and stand up. He strikes me down again.
Oh.
Makes a big show of it, and
mate,
and such.
Brilliant.
Which was awesome. And whilst we're saying the oath and looking at the oath, he's pointing the spear at me and nailing all these points in, really helping it to make an effect on the new recruits that are standing in the middle. But we also, the red. I'm talking a lot here, but
no, mate.
Friday, a lot happened on the Friday. It was a busy event. The Redfelder initiations, typically up until this point, have been full of a lot of drinking and merriment. And however, some previous contention, I won't go into it because it is a group, very personal matter. We have felt that we've strayed a little bit and been making too much of a joke of it. So we made it a much more serious roleplay, talky type scenario where the people in the middle would talk about why they think they're worthy. And so an existing member of the Redfelder would then have to vouch for them, say why they thought they were worthy as well. It was quite a nice bit of a nice moment there.
That's brilliant.
We also had, there were rules as in you're not allowed to become a Redfelder if this is your first event. One of the guys tried and got shouted at. It was funny.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And various such things like that. But yes, we got a few new Redfelder. All good.
Excellent.
I got struck down afterwards.
You did.
I don't know if it was Ailson or Chris, but he patted me back and was like, "Thanks for helping make a point there." Yeah.
Oh. You can take it as Ailson. No, he has his moments.
I don't think so.
he has his moments. All right.
True. Yeah, we also Wintermark as a whole, fighting members of it have a big old battle practice as a nation on the Friday as well, learning how to fight in lines, columns, shield walls.
Did you
and
actually
such.
Attend this time though?
Yeah, I didn't attend last time because I was fighting things for real, but yeah, this time I was in it. It's always good fun. Oh no, I will talk about it though. It's just typical battle practice stuff, nothing too interesting. But at the end of it, we do a big old battle royale where we get everyone in a big circle, and the last person standing wins a piece of magical armor that Elson's made. And normally I'm out in like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But this time I was standing there, and behind me was Jason's son. Jason, a member of the Dunning, good friend of mine. And he recently has spec'd into being an archer as his character.
Oh my goodness.
So, which is awesome, and archers are amazingly useful in fighting, but in a battle royale type scenario, probably not going to win, because I don't think he had a sword on him. So what I said to him is I was like, in a minute, mate, Ailson is going to say last person standing wins. You are going to stand behind me, behind this big old shield that I have, and you're going to start picking off people. All right.
Brilliant.
And we're not going to let Ailson see that we're working in a team.
Oh, I love it.
So he's firing arrows in. It's amazing. He's taking people out. We're playing with like only 3 hits each and whatever. So he's just one-shotting people down with his arrows, and it's awesome fun. And then I'm like, wait, no, stop firing. All right, stop firing. He's got like 3 hours left. I'm like, stop firing.
Yeah.
And there's like 4 or 5 people left in the middle. They're having a big old duel. It's down to 3. Oh, there's 3 on 3 on 3. And then it goes down to the final 2. They're having this big old duel in the middle. And I've taken a knee at this point, saying my character is out. So it's just those 2 in the middle and this little archer fella behind me. And I'm like, all right, wait until the last one is standing there in the middle.
And then smack him.
The moment that guy hits him with the sword, I shout, no, as loud as I can. Duck out of the way of this little kid. He draws the bow, shoots this guy right in the chest, and wins this battle royale.
Oh, man.
Biggest roar I've heard from one of these things. Ailson looks both confused and then elated, because although he's a big, hardened veteran of a fellow, he have a soft spot for kids. So he was sort of perturbed at first, but as he's saying, it's one of the Dunning lads. He was very happy.
Yeah.
And then speaking to the kid afterwards, and Jason as well, he absolutely loved it.
Bless.
So, that was a real highlight.
Oh, yeah. It's always nice to sort of see the kids in LARP having a blast.
Yeah.
They just unabashedly get involved. And it's so rewarding to see that our stupid little hobby is just so well received with the kids. It's
Empire
great.
as well has a whole academy for like children.
It does.
Where they learn about the world and stuff. So the children probably know more about the lore involved with Empire than you do. They know how the Senate works, the Synod works, the War Council works, and I'm just standing there like, I just drink and fight things when I'm told to fight things, and the kids are like, well, if you head to this point at this time, there's a conjunction at 5:34.
Yep, exactly.
It was decided by Theodoric Dunning that we will be heading to Samsuak to fight you. And I'm like,
goodness. Cool. What is that? What's a Suak?
Yeah.
What is Empire? What's an anvil?
What are the virtues?
What is a virtue? Oh no, we're not going to go into that one. Oh no.
Heresy.
#heresy. Everything's fucking heresy nowadays, isn't it? Oh, but yeah, good times. Friday, mate. What a crazy evening. I actually went to bed at a good time as well.
I was about to say that I think I got what could be referred to as an early night.
Madness. Absolute madness.
It was weird.
Like, not waking up the next morning and feeling like absolute toss is a new feeling at LARP. Very strange.
I think I woke up before Chris started screaming in his thick Scottish accent, and we had to wake up in 10 minutes to put our armour on, which was really nice.
Yep.
He's a brilliant alarm clock, but it is jarring.
Yeah, Lordy B. See, we don't get that over in OC camping. We just have to sort of wait for the screaming.
Are you sure? I thought you'd be able to hear him.
It's true, actually. We were close enough. It was a good time. But yeah.
Saturday morning was the big battle.
It was.
Or one of them. You were an orc. You were a Jotun.
Yes, we were. We were Jotun for that one. Yeatened.
And I was my character.
You were.
Very tired and heavy in my armor. As always.
Yep. Too much fucking metal, man.
It was a good fight.
Mm.
Pretty tough in some places. Some pushes were difficult. We almost lost a few.
I did actually see you a few times.
I saw you once, and it's much more difficult to recognise you wearing an orc mask, but I saw you put it on the day before, so and I recognised your armour, I think it was, that I spotted.
Yeah. A little medium.
You looked far too smug to be killing player characters.
I was super smug. It was great, because I was a message runner for that one.
Oh, right, fair enough.
My great thing that I can do at LARP is run around and be really fucking annoying and generally just make a nuisance of myself. So it was in this where I was doing that message running back and forth between the blobs of orcs and the different units, sort of telling the commanders what everyone was doing. And also, on occasion, getting in close to the line and seeing who would chase me.
Yeah, I did see you quite close.
Yep, because they would come after the little squishy, and then I'd run straight past the heavies and they'd get panel beaten.
Squishy and I shall call you squishy.
Squishy. Oh, no, you won't, because you're on the floor. Good luck with that, motherfucker. Continued Jotun noises of glee. Yeah, so that was really funny, actually.
Yeah.
Saw you and Sam.
Yep.
And quite a few of the Dunnings, actually, because you guys do actually fight in a really unified sort of block,
we stick together
don't you?
because we don't want to die.
Yeah.
We've had, and it's a big old ego boost. I'm not often a super proud person, but it's a big old ego boost when I was fighting. This was last year, probably like my second ever event. Some guy walks up to me in the battle line. And he's like, "I've heard that if you stand by a Dunning in the shield line, you come back alive." And I'm like, "Mate, that's actually really cool." I'm new here. I'm pretty green, but I will take that.
Bless. No, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because you Dunnings, I do make fun of you guys. I see, for being so shiny and having a lovely, beautiful wall of people that
lovely
just
hair
sort
as
of
well.
tramps around being really loud all the time. But no, you guys do have
distraction.
You guys do have a unified unit, and it looks fucking badass.
Yeah, it's true.
And it works. Like, if people go down in your line, you'll get thrown at a healer standing behind you. So that is great.
Which did happen to both Kellard, Ash, and myself.
Oh, no.
Well, this is the thing, we had a brief argument about it because it was who saved whose life.
Oh, I did hear about this.
He claimed that he had saved my life by protecting me whilst we were in the shield line. However, I got repelled out of the shield line, which is a spell that sends you 20 feet back or running away for however many seconds, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And so I got fired out of the shield wall back into our lines a good 20 feet. And then I start running back to see him just being repelled, lying on his ass, bleeding out on the ground. I'm like, fair enough. No. So I help him back up using a hero point, using my stay with me skill, which gets you back onto 1 health.
Yep.
And I get him to a healer. We're both there on 1 HP. So I was also looking for a healer, but I'm like, oh, get him first since he was bleeding out.
Yeah.
And then this healer drags us way behind the shield lane. So I'm quite nervous about the pushing forward. And I'm like, okay, we're really far away. This is a bit unnecessary. But then our line does start falling back towards us to the point where he barely gets Ash's character up. And then I have to be dragged even further back because it's not safe for me there. Quite a funny moment.
Yikes.
Yeah, there's some good medical roleplay. It's the first time I actually had fake blood on me. I've never been asked before. He was like, "You want blood?" And I'm like, "Hell yes, I want blood."
This is the first time.
Yeah, I'd never done it before.
Mate.
Yeah, it was good fun.
It is. I love it. I love a bit of fake blood. As a Navari, it's just the best thing.
Yeah, you're covered in it.
It's a staple of our diet. Like, no matter what.
Some moisturizer.
Moisturizer, exactly. No matter what your kit is, it should always include fake blood if you're Navar, just because it will. I
kept coming across friends who were monstering during that fight. So I saw yourself. I didn't fight you or anything, but I saw you. But also our friend Charlie, the brass coaster. She was playing a herald, so she was not even an orc mash. She was basically just dressed up as her brass coast character, shouting abuse and cursing at me because I came across her in the battle line like 4 times. And I was like, oh, for God's sakes, I cannot deal with her. She's an amazing role player, and amazing role playing being angry.
Exactly.
Or not even angry. It was quite jovial. She was just mocking the
just
entire
fighty.
Time,
yeah.
Which is what we do in character quite a lot. So she had a lot of practice. Yeah. And I'm there tired trying to kill her, and I'm like, I do not have time for banter right now. And she's
legit.
There, like, sassing me left,
you
right, and
useless
center.
Imperial fucking
yeah. And I'm just like, I don't want it. Like, there's not normally this much talking.
Yeah, I mean, tell you what though, it's funny with Charlie's little herald.
Yeah,
because I kept coming across her being downed. So I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
People really target them because she was the one. The heralds were splashing out the repels that I mentioned. So
exactly.
They were a big target.
So every time she went down, especially since the one time she went down that I dragged her back was when she was literally slagging off an entire archer block.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, bless
Charlie.
you. Oh, bless you. So she got absolutely pincushioned. And I was like, well, here we go then. Sprint in, grab her, and drag her back whilst they're taking pot shots at me, and just sort of giving them the 2-finger, dragging Charlie back to the healers. And I think it was just the funniest thing ever, where I would just dodge one and go, oh, no, unlucky, mate, unlucky, try the other one. Yeah. Why don't you try aiming for an arm? It's all waggly. Have a look.
If only your player character could dodge arrows that well.
She can, is the thing. Just there are so fucking many. Oh. And if they're firing at your back, you haven't got much of a chance.
True. There were some pretty good moments in that fight. There was one because we captured one of the Jotun banners quite early on in the fight. And we like doing that because Ailson is very proud of the fact that he's the only one that's allowed a flag, especially a red flag. And so when we see enemies with flags, especially red flags, as the Jotun do, we very much focus them and we want them. Yeah. And so we will target the banner bearers and take them back into Imperial control and lord them around with pride. So we got one, but there was another one that was eluding our possession quite well. And so there was this tiny group of Jotun left, and they were sort of like not advancing, not retreating, and we were standing there not advancing, not retreating, and we were all standing there going, Ailson, come on, let us get that banner. Like, come on, it's right there. We really want it. And Ailson's like sort of think about it, and he's like, okay, 5 minutes, get that banner, come back here with it, like not a moment more. So we all sprint full force, like all of us. Not he's like don't just like step to contact, just run. We're not even in a shield line, we're just charging at this banner, we want it. They retreat, and as they retreat further and further, we see an entire respawning Jotun line, and we're like, they brought friends. Brought friends. So we retreat all the way back, form a column, and Ailson berates us. He was like, I'm really disappointed because I said get me that banner and you come back without a banner. And we're all there like making jokes, they brought friends, it's not fair, like they weren't invited.
Oh, they weren't invited. Oh my gosh, brilliant. Fucking winter markers, man.
It was good fun. Yeah, Hadand, played by Claire, was particularly vocal about that, and Ragnar was saying like, they brought friends, they weren't on the list.
Oh, they weren't on the list, they weren't invited. Yeah.
It was good.
We wanted a party.
At the end of that fight, after pretty much the entire battle trying to get that banner, we got it, and then it turned out it was actually a previously captured by the Jotun Imperial banner from the Dornish house. So they took it from us. And the Dornish house were like, that's our flag. And we're like, okay, fine, can't really say no. So we didn't get to parade that one nearly as much.
Boo.
Yeah, some other cool moments. There was we were putting push back one point, and there were still healers. I think it was Grim. So Trott's character was being healed, and Mac was with him, who's a Navari that I'm friends with. And he was like, hold the line. I'm like, the entire line is retreating. And then I realised that this healer has got nothing in between the enemy line and them. And so me and Sam, so Banning, run forward, put our shields in front of us, and we're like defending these healers whilst they're trying to fix someone who's probably got like a broken spine or something. I didn't know what the injury was. And we're like, are you done yet? Like fighting off.
Are you there yet?
Like 3 Jotun each, just like, how much fucking longer?
Yep.
Yeah, before eventually they get up and run. And
brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
See,
a really
that is
good
when
fight.
a shield really comes in handy.
It does, yeah. Holding
fucking
the line.
hell. Just for keeping anything off of you, because if you've got a big off fuck off shield, like the people aren't really going to want to go for you.
It makes you live longer.
It makes you live longer because it's harder to land hits. So unless there's like 2 or more of monsters, probably not going to just gun for you for the sake of gunning for you. They're going to find something easier to kill.
True. That's why those repels were so annoying, because a repel, the spell that launches you back, doesn't have to hit your person; it can hit your shield. Same with paralyze and things like that. It means that
magical force.
That's why we were focusing your heralds, your spellcasters, so heavily, because we are a big old shield line, and you having spells that affect shield users was pretty annoying.
Yep, it was really cool.
One of the newer members of our hall, can't remember his name, IC or OC. He got cleaved in his leg about 4 times in that battle and repelled several more. So I remember right towards the end of the fight, he got cleaved right in his knee, and he just went, again?
Oh, bless him.
He was swearing Bloody Mary, just like as he was like on the floor, like
bleeding. Yeah, fucking swearing his head off.
He's getting so angry because every time he got repelled, he'd be like, he'd sigh and then like run away.
And then
come back later on.
Bless.
They were just focusing him so heavily.
Oh,
so funny.
Poor kid. Bless his heart.
He tried.
Yeah. I love it when that happens.
We were quite tactical with our spell users as well, though. We had quite a lot of shatters packed, which will make a weapon or shield useless. So Mac was with me, as well as our recent member of our hall who used to be a brass coaster, Razzle. They were always standing with me saying, like, I'm about to shatter that shield user, I'm about to shatter that pole arm, I'll do it, and then we go in and slaughter them. So there was some good tactics involved, which I really enjoyed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's well fun. Yeah, so there was that, and then we all came back with our strawberry picking markings still on our faces.
Yep.
Just running around being like, is everyone all right? Yeah, you're fine. Oh, good. How was the battle? I hadn't heard about it. I was on maneuvers at the time.
And they're just like, I almost died like 4 times, which is true. I did almost die 4 times.
Yeah, to which Pip's reaction was, for fuck's sake, you absolute gimbucket.
Yeah.
Yeah, although not that she can say much, because then Sunday happened. But we'll get to that when we get to it.
We'll get to the Sunday battle. What else happened on Saturday besides the battle? I did a cheeky skirmish against some husks.
Yep.
Husks basically being the equivalent of zombies, but I think they're caused by the Valorn. So,
Valorn zombies.
So yeah, Valorn zombies. That was fun because it was actually really well done in a sort of scary way. So we were in the woods, and they had a lot of smoke machines going. So it was a very thick mist. They'd obviously had it going before we turned up. And they just had, and the husks are normally really slow shambling. We're talking like Dawn of the Dead zombies, but these ones would sometimes shamble and then would sometimes just break into full sprint and scream like full on scream and charge at you, and it really it worked super well. Kudos to the crew that did it. In fact, throughout the fight, we would compliment like the zombies, like as they would get as they were respawning. We're like, that was fucking awesome.
That was amazing. Yeah,
that was super cool. And we had to execute every single one because otherwise they stand up again after like 10 seconds. I actually bumped into Chris Rainmaker because he was crewing that, he was monstering that fight.
Yeah.
after I think one of my friends or me killed him and executed him, he stood up and he was like, all right mate.
Yep.
As he walks away. They didn't have to put any makeup or anything because his character is a Draugr, which are basically zombie looking people anyway.
They are.
But it was quite funny, yeah. And I spoke to him after the fight as well, and his throat was hoarse because he had put so much effort into those screams, put so much effort into that roleplay for that fight, and it made it feel so real.
Hell yeah.
And really well done. So kudos to that. It was awesome.
Brilliant.
But yeah, he wrecked his voice for the entire weekend for that moment.
Oh, bless his heart. Yep. I can believe that of Chris, because I met him afterwards and he was just gushing about it.
Yeah.
Because we did a similar thing at another system I play called Age of Ether. We have monsters which are slow shamble for most of it, and then you get to a certain point about 15 feet away from the players, and you fucking peg it, yelling you bloody murder, and just fucking peg them into the floor, and it gets squeaky bums every time.
It's just the screaming that got me. It was
you're not expecting it,
and because there was so much thick smoke, you wouldn't see one, and all of a sudden behind you just hear the scream. There was a lot of people executing someone, and all of a sudden you'd have to be like behind you and like jump in the way because they came out from everywhere. It was amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and loved it.
Shame I actually missed those because we had a bit of a thing where too many people went through the Sentinel gate for both. So I bounced off the fucking gate twice. Oh, I was so mad. Twice. Literally, this poor Dornish man and lovely little Rowan of the Navari, bless her heart, just there being like, it's all right, we'll get him another, little Rowan. And I was just there like barely holding in anger. For fuck's sake,
we're still yet to fight alongside each other, aren't we?
Yeah. Because
Navarre is quite a large nation and Wintermark is quite a large nation, so it means that very unlikely that we'll ever fight alongside each other in the big battle. So we need to find some skirmishes we can do.
We do. We'll think about that more next time. But yeah, it was a case of I feel so bad because I was so pissed off. Just like really trying not to show it. And I have bad resting bitch face when I'm angry. Like I have no emotional control over that. That is not something I can deal with. But yeah, my lovely egregore, Dave, he, bless his entire heart, got on the radio and sorted me out on a conjunction about an hour later to go and fight some Thule. Oh,
I remember that one.
Yeah, and it was literally a 15-person mission. And he was like, you know what, just go. Just go for it. Just go for it. I'm like, all right.
I skipped out on that one because I was wiped.
Yeah.
I remember you asking me and I was like, not this one.
Yeah, it was fine. You were at the Orc Pit anyway.
Yeah.
Having fun. That was amazing also. We'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that in a minute. Hot damn. But yeah, so we went on this mission against the Thule, and it was amazing to have something that the character made sense to do. Because a lot of the time, when you're playing a sort of like a mercenary bastard who's really only there for the money, you're not entirely sure why you're doing the things you're doing in terms of the battles and the skirmishes, because you're not being paid. But for this one in particular, we got permission to loot the bodies and keep the stuff, which was fucking amazing. So just going in, guns blazing, downing all these Thule deserters that we had been told to kill by the Thule delegates, and just taking their shit and being like, "Oh, I got a rod of weakness. Isn't that nice?
You did, didn't you?
Ooh, fantastic shiny shit. Nom nom nom." And like executing these bastards as well. We were full on baddies in that fight, and it was so much fun.
Oh
yeah.
I wish I'd gone on that.
Oh, it was so good, because it's one of those cases of we're the baddies, literally executing some people who just run away from their line. We just got them and take their stuff, as one does.
Yeah,
because there were husks there as well.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, we had
kill
some husks.
Everything.
They just, oh my goodness, it was awful. It was like, shit, I don't have blade venom on me. This is a problem.
Oh, husks are easy. They only got like 2 hits and then shambling and.
But venom, it's so much more like assholey when you have venom.
Such a waste though.
But it's assholey and it's nice. Oh, it's so much fun. I like venoming things so much. So much power. Also weakness.
Yes, you now have weakness, which is actually pretty good.
So good. I really want to get that one day. It's fantastic.
Because it takes any mage or fighter that has hero point stuff completely out of the game. They just become a grunt, essentially.
Yeah, you're a walking piece of person and you've got a sword, that's it. You're a person with a stick. You've got nothing left.
Yeah.
Which is a problem. Exactly. Which is a problem for some of us.
Oh
hell yeah.
Oh. The orc fights though.
Oh shit, yeah.
Let's do that, because
do that next.
That was just probably one of the highlights of the entire event.
That was the shit.
One of.
So the orcs, the Imperial orcs in Empire are usually quite secretive. They usually don't allow people into their camps without express permission, and even then you have to get past the gate guards, who are usually pretty stringent on how you get in. Like, even if you have an invite, they will still turn you away if they don't think you're okay. But there is one night, every year, every few events, as I understand it, called the Night of Worth, where they invite everybody in to come and see a massive fucking pit fight. Oh yeah.
Yep.
And to like just tell stories of worth, about items of worth, and give it over to the Orc Nation.
Pretty much.
Just as a show of good faith to their joining of the Empire. And it's a real point of where everyone sort of gets together and gets a bit closer as an empire instead of just loose nations tottering about.
And also you get to see a big old fuck off pit fight.
You get to see a fuck off pit fight.
So they have the pit in the orc camp, and big old things, so where they hear their ancestors and such. Lots of nice traditional stuff in there. But yeah, mainly everyone comes because they want to see some big old theatrical fighting, and it was done really well. Actually,
so good.
I wasn't sure what to expect, but it was done spectacularly well. They had a bunch of small warm-up fights before a final main event that it was all building up to, and there wasn't just orcs. I think one marcher got involved and started fighting some guy, and there was like some proper dirty fight moves thrown in there, and it was all obviously you could see at some points when they were grappling, you could see them like talking to each other to say like, I'm about to throw you, like, but all in all, it was super well done. Like,
it was amazing.
It was only in certain points when maybe one of them misheard the other, when they would actually, you could see them maybe discussing it. But yeah, they were throwing each other against walls. Like, there were some people doing like drop kicks, like jump kicks at each other.
People's elbow at one point.
There was a people's elbow.
There was a people's elbow. Oh, and at one point, at the end of the big battle, you could tell that they'd been planning this for a while.
Yeah.
One guy threw the other into the wall and like full on fucking slammed him.
Yeah.
And he was reeling for about 2 minutes. And in these 2 minutes, the other guy, the opponent, ran out of the ring and started gathering furniture.
Oh, he did.
And
yeah,
like,
so the main event, I'm pretty like it. as he said, it was probably well discussed beforehand, but honestly, you couldn't really tell. But
Yeah.
So the guy's there like reeling, and he's on the floor, and he's barely keeping his stance. And the other guy goes out and he's get out of here, and he moves people out of the way who are sitting on benches.
Yep.
He brings in 2 benches and a large plank of plywood with the name of his opponent on it.
Yep.
Sets up a table to throw him through. And in like the last second, the other guy picks him up, throws him through the table, winning this rematch main event. And it was, oh man, the cheering was awesome, and it was more than I thought it would be. It was so good.
Hell yeah. And also, it was even more spectacular because the guy who won it was the underdog of the fight.
Yeah.
Nobody expected them to win, and they bossed it.
I was rooting for the Scar, I think it is, the previous champion. But Bull, the underdog, as you said, he won.
Bless him.
Yep.
Did so well.
Few people around me were betting on it, but I did find out afterwards that was something that the Orcs frown upon highly because it reminds them of their time as slaves, which is recent history for their nation. So good thing none of those got spotted. But,
legit, they would have been thrown out by their ear.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or stabbed in the ditch. Either one.
Yeah.
He is hard to tell sometimes. But
that was awesome.
Actually wasn't my favourite fight.
No?
Not the end one, no. It was one in the middle. I can't remember the names of any of them, but there was a sort of a youngish orc fighting a human, actually.
Yeah.
And this fucking asshole of a human pulls out a knife in the middle of the fight and starts fucking going at him. And everyone's like, oh my shitting god. But the orc still won. Like, despite the dirty tricks of this human bastard, he still won the fight. And afterward, I was chatting to this orc, and bless his soul, he was like, oh, yeah, it's all right. He always does this. He always pulls something dirty. He's an asshole.
Yeah, it was all pretty well-spirited. I was like, when I saw the knife, I was like, oh, shit, is this stuff going down? And the orcs were like, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. That's just how it is, isn't it? Yeah. It was absolutely hilarious. And just the entire attitude of the thing was great.
One thing I thought was awesome was that when there was a ref there watching, and so when a couple of them got floored, particularly spectacularly, a ref would crawl over and put a traumatic wound card in one of their mouths.
Oh, amazing.
So at the end of the fight, there was this moment where a bunch of physics and healers come in and Scar, the guy who lost, he starts screaming out in pain as they probably reset some of his ribs and stuff.
Oh, no.
Which was an awesome moment of roleplay.
Oh, yeah.
But then,
love it. I love it so much.
There was the Night of Worth, which is where everyone has a particular item which they're not necessarily their achievements, not there to talk about their achievements. Well, that's a lot of theirs.
Words.
But they talk about what the item has been through and what it represents and to them and to those around them. And that's always one. That happened on my very first event, and I absolutely loved it. Some quite emotional ones. And following the previous event where an entire banner from the Imperial Orcs was wiped out, the Sunhammers, there was a lot of emotional items and references to them, sort of like some of their raps, some of their weapons and stuff that they were talking about. Yeah, how they were going to evolve and be used in the future, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, that was actually heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because the Night of Worth, there is a way you can get it wrong, isn't there? There is a way that you can you can still get kicked out of the orc camp by your ear.
If you make it an ego move and start talking about, oh, I used this sword to slay hundreds of orcs in the battlefield, they'll kick you right out. As well as right at the beginning, the very first one to kick it off, decided to use it as a big joke and say, oh, I was just joking, I didn't even have an item, and she got shouted out of the camp. And I fully understand why.
Yeah.
This is their night, and it's the night that they trust everyone enough to come into their camp and tell their stories, and this woman just spat in their faces, and she got kicked the fuck out. Like,
she full on sort of was giving it a big old bluster of an introduction for this thing. Like, look into the fire. And then the orc was like, nah, mate, all right.
Get the
I'm just making this up. Get out of our camp.
Yeah. I don't know, were you there for the guy who his item got rejected later on? The Dornish one? So there's a guy who was, bless him, he gave it his all, telling the story about how everyone in his hall, in his house, I don't know what it is for Dorn, house I think, has one of these knives. I can't remember the name of his house, but and what it represents to them and to their identity. And it didn't quite come together, I think, as he was hoping. And so the guy said to him, there's potential for Worth, but it didn't quite have it yet. So he set him a challenge to go out and add on to this thing's worth and to build upon the story to then come back next year and set it as a challenge for him, which was nice because I'd never seen one be rejected before.
Mm.
And I'm glad it wasn't just a get the hell out, even though he tried really hard. It was a challenge to bring it forth with more worth. Which I did like. There was also some really stories. Nice. I think he said this isn't an item of worth, but I'm bestowing it. It was like an item of one of the people that died. He sort of gave it to someone saying, "Give this thing worth," so that next year we can hear about it. That was cool too.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
It was a really wholesome actual moment, wasn't it?
It is super wholesome.
So wholesome.
The orcs are awesome.
So much cooler than us. Like,
it's the thing though. The Imperial Orcs are the coolest nation, and they have some spectacular kit standards. And so everyone as because of that sort of that whole vibe, everyone loves them, both OC and IC.
Yep.
The thing is, talking to some of them, they don't want that necessarily.
No.
My friend Emily, who used to be in our hall, now is out of our hall. She was saying how her character is actually slightly racist towards Imperial Orcs, and they were all like, "Yes, we want more of that. Like, we are a race of people that was recently slaved. Like, in living memory, we were slaves to your empire, but yet everyone for some reason loves us."
Yeah.
So they want more racist RP, but no one wants to do it because they're so damn cool.
They are so damn cool. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it previously about racism in Larp, but I couldn't do it.
Yep.
No matter what the type, I just find it really difficult and uncomfortable. However, yeah, it's a thing, and it makes sense, obviously, but it's their fault for being so gosh darn awesome.
Oh, so fucking cool. Yeah. They just make us all look like scrub lords, don't they? Let's be honest here. We are complete scrubs compared to the orcs. Ugh.
Oh, we try.
So cool. But yeah, another cool thing that happened on Saturday was a ritual. Oh,
you did a ritual.
I did ritual. Level up. So first time I've ever done a ritual at LARP, because before coming to Empire,
really?
Yeah, I did
not know that.
No experience with rituals, no experience or want to do anything with the ritual game in any systems I've been to, because it's so closely monitored. And it feels so graded and sort of like watchdogged, if that makes sense. Sort of by the refs and things, and it's so much a trigger for anxiety that I did not want to touch it.
Oh god.
But coming to Empire and seeing that it's so freeform, where you get your ritual, you master it, you go to God, you say, I have a ritual, put it on your character when you've mastered it, go out there, do the roleplay, come back, say you've done it, and then you get the effects. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to drag a ref around it with you anywhere, or wait for an astral rift or any of that. Nope. And I did my first ever ritual this event as a spring ritualist, a babby spring ritualist, as a solo ritual to invigorate a Wintermarker friend Kjellet's farm. And I think it went pretty well. I really enjoyed it.
As a spectator, it went really cool. You unintentionally probably found the best spot ever to do it, which was in an open part of the field right next to the woods, because it meant that as you were projecting your voice and shouting your words about how awesome spring was, it was echoing from the woods back to us in multiple different directions, and it sounded awesome because you weren't speaking particularly loudly, but it was reverberating around the terrain.
I've noticed it now. I've really noted that area now, though, because I've been like,
that is my ritual spot now.
That is my ritual spot now.
Don't tell anyone about it, they'll take it.
Exactly, I know. I'll just get there next time and there'll be like a queue. It becomes the new Reggio. Just like, for fuck's sake, mate.
Move the Reggio here.
Move the Reggio there, and I'll just be there like, bitch, please!
Yeah, see, I didn't realise you could do the rituals wherever. I thought you had to do it in the Reggio, but I think the Reggio just gives you plus one level of ritualist or whatever.
Yes, the
so
Reggio...
you do special spells.
The Reggio is I believe it's like a focusing sort of effect, so that will allow you to cast like nation-affecting shit, such as like humongous rivers run red style
kill everyone stuff.
Yeah, that is the blah magic circle. That is the one where you need a bumblebee. That was the magic. It's magic.
You gave someone a farm that you boosted, which was pretty cool.
Did yelled about spring.
Did a little blood pact type deal.
We did, because another thing that Navari do, pretty much in all things, but especially in magic,
bleed. We
do blood magic, which is so fucking cool. So I got my snaz, wet it a bit, and just shoved it on my blade. So I had my dagger out, going to collect Kjelled for this ritual, covered in blood, ready to go. And we were talking about it coming down from the hall to where I'd planned to do this ritual, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna cut Kjellad in a minute. And this guy from a hall next to yours was like, what the fuck did you just say?
One of the guys from school, you're like, I'm gonna cut him, and this guy was like, what did you say? And I know the guy, he's part of from the Wardens, which is our conglomeration of several large halls, and I'm like, no, it's for a ritual, don't worry. And he's like, looks at me, he's like, all right, mate, that's fine.
So it's like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna
always bring a Dunning with you.
It was absolutely fucking hilarious because Pip just was like, whatever, this assaule motherfucker.
And I'm like, no.
Legit.
Don't listen to her.
Like, no. She's bullshit, but she doesn't mean it. So that was kind of hilarious. Getting a little bit shouted at. Then went and did the ritual, and I think, for all intents and purposes, it worked. I think
it did. Yeah, you went to turn it into God and said, "I did a shiny ritual."
And then go away and do your thing. Because I just made a coven in the same day. A coven of 3 people. All newbies, all spring ritualists, for the fuck of it, essentially. Because why not? We're all
so
spring
coven
ritualists.
lets you combine your power to do bigger rituals, right?
Pretty much, yeah. And it's just good to have that when you're sort of researching magic as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And all the other covens are so fucking big and so full of sort of people who know a lot about the systems. And we were like, you know what? Let's have our own little niche up in here.
Well, yeah, good idea.
Yeah, so we now have the Bloodbark Coven of Spring Ritualists.
Amazing.
Which is hilarious. And yeah, that was pretty much it for Saturday, I believe.
Saturday, in the evening and the night, was the Wintermark conjunction to go to Calavesa, the marshes of Calavesa, which is where we do our funerals and such. It was the entire nation, which Wintermark is the largest nation in Empire, Wintermark as a nation contains enough people to be the 4th largest LARP in the UK. So I don't know the numbers exactly. I'm just going to put the number 500 to it.
A lot.
I don't know. But yeah, and before the event, we had organised with several halls for everyone to buy these wax flaming torches for us all to have. So the halls are all like, that's a brilliant idea, because this conjunction was in the night time. It was at 11 p.m. And we were going through. So at every hall, 500 people all carrying flaming torches, marching in a column of 3 throughout the entirety of Anvil. And it looked absolutely stunning. It was one of the most beautiful moments I think I've ever seen, just in general. It was. I was blown away for myself, only having LARP for a year, but it was amazing seeing the veterans of LARP, people who have been doing it longer than I've been alive, turning around being like, "Oh my god, look at that!" And it was truly spectacular. That many people, it looked like straight out of a movie.
It really did.
So we marched through the gate to go to Calavesa. I was still in armor and with weapons and shields because we were told there may be Jotun nearby. OC knew, of course, they wouldn't send people after us when they've got 500 people with fire.
Yeah.
IC, always be prepared.
It's always the bleed, isn't it?
Yeah, so I was armed and all that. And yeah, we went through and we formed a huge circle, the entire nation. It was quite funny hearing the refs being like, they're still coming. We need a bigger circle.
How many of them are there? Yeah.
We need a bigger circle.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah. And yeah, we did this big old thing where we talked about some people went forward and they talked about 3, I think it was meant to be 3, but they ended up doing 4 of our nation's greatest heroes, rather. What they did. Chris Rainmaker's character was actually talked about. Baldric Blackhand, might have got the first name wrong.
Got buried.
Blackhand, his story was told, and it was really, really nice. Imagine he was pretty smug around the side hearing that.
He super was. He posted about it on Facebook, and I was just Chris.
Sean announced that. That was really cool. As well as a few others before we eventually left. But it was absolutely stunning because everyone still had the fire out, and at the end of it, we were all shouting out the names of friends and family that had passed, and a lot of people had lost a lot of heroes. A lot of Dunnings had died in recent years.
Bless.
Lots of Siggyhold, I think, lost a lot. But, yes, that was a nice moment. My character was particularly sad because recently I had retconned and decided that he had lost his mother and sister in recent years, and therefore, as heroes of the mark, they were also buried there. So that was he was in touch with that and a little bit down around that moment. But
a little bit weepy.
It was an amazing moment of RP, yeah.
Oh. That's always
the
really
photos
amazing.
look absolutely spectacular. The ones that have come out, and I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Oh hell yeah! Sort of looking through them, being like, "Oh my goodness, this looks like straight out of Lord of the Rings."
It does.
Oh,
And it did. It diddly
brilliant.
done do.
Diddly done did. Oh, just seeing you guys just parading past as I was coming back from the OC camping area, and just blew me away completely.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely spectacular.
Absolutely, something that I've really come to appreciate with Empire is they do not pull any punches.
No.
Like, they pull out all the stops to make it look as immersive as possible. Because LARP can look a bit silly sometimes if you don't put the effort in, but Empire absolutely does, and it looks like you're there in a medieval setting and you're living the lives of these people. You're not acting it, you're not feeling awkward about it, you just are in the moment. And the amount that people invest in this game really, really shows in how it comes across. It's amazing.
Yeah, I do love it.
It's super good.
It feels super like a living, breathing world, like you said. It feels real.
It's amazing. We love you, Empire. We love you.
Many love. And that was only Saturday.
That was only motherfucking Saturday. Lordy.
Sunday morning. Another big battle. I was strawberry picking. I was just doing maneuvers that morning, whereas you were out there in the motherfucking Black Plateau, a recently awoken entity / area which imbues those around it with horrible, traumatic, and masochistic. No? What's the other one? Sadistic tendencies.
Sadistic tendencies, yeah. So we were sort of bumming about the Navarre camp before we went in. So going, oh, well, this could be fun, couldn't it? We're all expecting to get very cursed. What can we do here? What can we do to make this easier on ourselves? I know! Wisdom anointing. Yeah, boys, let's do this. So we all gathered up around our lovely, lovely scout leader and guide of wisdom, Ovine, bless her heart. And we were all anointed for wisdom, waiting in line for a cheeky anointing. What we didn't know is that would do absolutely jack shit for us on the field.
Black Plateau don't give a fuck.
The Black Plateau did give no fucks. So we were waiting a weapons check, and there were these refs coming around handing out pieces of paper. So I took mine, and I'll give you a little read of what it says here in my hand
give
today.
Us a little snippet of that.
Small
it's like
snippet.
an A5 of curse.
So, Black Plateau oppression. Role-playing. Your dark or violent emotions are amplified. You are confident that you can overcome your problems by physically or verbally attacking obstacles. This feels completely natural to you.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my goodness. So this was absolutely just crazy, because obviously we didn't know about this before we went through the gate, so we were sort of reading them going, oh fucking shit. But of course, for my character, she's an angry little ball of rage and trauma anyway.
Yep.
Like, this made absolutely no difference to her. But for some people who were very logical and very calm and very collected most of the time, they got through the gate and they went fucking rabid. So for one person in particular, this really affected him. Tavian, the third member of our coven, bless his heart, he went through and he thought, okay, I'm not feeling good. This is Black Plateau. Obviously, I'm going to take something to calm me down because this isn't me. This is the Black Plateau.
Yeah.
This normally would be fine. However, in this particular instance, it didn't work and made it worse.
Nice.
Because it says on the sheet that if you take anything attempting to dampen these feelings, it would make them worse. So he took like 2 calming potions and went fucking berserk, and just ran at the enemy, and he unfortunately did not survive it. He did not come back from the battle.
Your newly formed Coven of 3 is now a Coven of 2.
Yep. So that happened, and that was a rough blow. But
so meanwhile, I was having a whale of time that fight.
Yeah, I could tell actually. So one of the best things about that fight was that you could absolutely tell that the monsters were having a fucking blast.
We were. So me and a big group of us in Wintermark were part of an EMU, which is Elite Monster Unit. So it's people who basically have their own gear, their own brief for fighting, which they stick to and will bring to each fight. And within that, Reese and I had, mainly Reese's love child, but I'm second in command of it. We come up with our own smaller offshoot of an EMU. where we play more skirmishy types, and we get a lot more. The whole idea was to get a lot more role play in our monstering to make it a lot more enjoyable. Because if you're enjoying it, the players are enjoying it. If you're shouting, they're listening, and it works for everyone. You're still there to die ultimately as a monster, but it makes it so much more enjoyable. So we met up before the fight. We were having a bunch of RP, getting everyone's names in. Everyone sort of recognising who was in command. Mr. Chops being Reese and Droopy Bruce.
Droopy Bruce, yeah.
An elderly orc. But
Son of a
we
bitch.
had an absolute whale of a time that fight. Because we were going in, running away, messing with everyone, slaughtering healers and the mages and the archers, everyone who was left behind.
Yeah, just arm's reach, basically.
Trying to sell people who we'd slaughtered. Oh, man. It was amazing.
Fucking intense.
On the other side of the battle line was you.
Yeah. So essentially what was really funny that we were chatting about after the fact was that me and Charles were doing pretty much the same thing on our sides of the line, but we kept missing each other because it was so fucking intense.
So I fought your line several times, and I saw you during those fights, but I never got to you because I couldn't obviously shuffle down the line because it's not how it really works.
There's lots of people in the way,
so, one time we pushed your line back and I saw you retreat, and I'm like, that's smart, but god damn it, do I want to fight you? That was right at the beginning.
That was when we got pushed out the tree line.
That was when we wrecked you out of the woodlands. Because you were like, the Navarre, let's go into the woods. Smart idea. Didn't realise
there's a unit waiting for us
40
in there.
Orcs in there.
Yeah.
And we pushed out and I was very vocal and shouty.
Yep.
Later on in the fight, when you're in the Palislade, I tried to fight you, but you looked terrifying because you were covered in blood and face paint. And I was like, I want that one. And I try and get you, and then you get shot with a bloody arrow.
Yeah.
And I shout curses and all hells at this
you
archer
bitch.
for fucking stealing
Killing
my
kill. Yeah. Oh, it was a good time because we were literally being the shouty, bolshy motherfucker on our side of the team in this particular instance.
Definitely.
And what happened during the fight was lovely scout leader Ovine, unfortunately, who did not survive this battle. But shut up. But yeah, she came over to me at one point and she had her fake blood out, and she was like, "Hey, you want some?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So bless her heart, she gets me to tilt my head back, falls on, pours it in my mouth. It's edible blood. And then she just gets it on her hand and fucking plants it on top of my head like Simba, but her entire fucking hand. Simba of murder. And then just sort of went, "Go." And I was like, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah, you were scary.
Yeah, I was literally... I've never felt sort of more terrifying in my life, and it was great. I was frothing at the mouth, I was dripping blood, spitting at the orcish line, screaming bloody murder that I would teach them the meaning of fear here this day, and just being an asshole, basically. So there was one particular orc who I came across when I was trying to drag, I think it was a Dornishman, back behind the line because he'd fallen down. And it was just me who was pushing out by myself in front of the Imperials were far behind me at this point. And there were loads of orcs who could have taken me out at that precise moment. I had no unstoppables left. There was nothing I could do. But I was bending over this guy, dragging him back, and one orc got particularly close, and I just look up, blood dripping from my teeth, snarl at him and go, "Stay the fuck back, don't you fucking touch him." And they just back the fuck off. Like,
I wish I'd spotted that.
Oh man, it was amazing. And I just continued dragging this asshole back behind the line and just throw them at a healer and run away again. It was in fucking intense. It was great.
Yeah. As second in command of my group, I think I ended up in command more than I was second in command, because Reese, our lovely leader, Mr. Chops, he had a tendency to run in and get slaughtered, and it was amazing to watch, but boy did it not help his longevity.
No.
At some points you just charge into the line at one point he just gets shot by an arrow, does like a nice pirouette spin as he like falls to the ground, not expecting it. It was really awesome. But the majority of our group is made up of Wyvern's Watcherage, a relatively new hall in Wintermark, but they work very, very well. The moment Mr. Chops was down, they were like, "Where's Droopy Bruce? Where's the leader?" And they came to me and they listened spectacularly. So we were having a lot of fun running between the woods, mostly for shade and to get water, because damn, wearing an orc mask in that heat was tough. But also as a nice little tactical retreat. But yeah, we were doing a lot of running in and out of the combats, hitting the Navari, hitting the Imperial Orcs. God, are they hard to fight, but boy, is it amazing fun. Until eventually Droopy Bruce fell.
Yeah.
He fell to Scar, the general of the Summer Stormer,
yes,
an Imperial Orc who cut me down where I stood,
and you deserved it, you motherfucker.
Because I deserved it. If you remember, as I very proudly say, when I'm an orc, I get very loud. When I play as my character, I'm quite reserved. I stay quite quiet during the battles, apart from shouting the occasional cleave. The moment I put a bloody orc mask on,
you just lose your shit.
Vocal and
so shouty.
Especially against the Imperial Orcs, because they have such easy RP queues,
yep.
aka they
slaves.
used to be slaves.
Yep.
The Grendel, they love slaves.
We
do. Have a slave healer. And so we were pushing back the Imperial Orcs at one point, and I'm there screaming, calling them cattle, saying we're herding them like cattle, saying that they're obeying orders really well, like they're good slaves, until eventually Scar, General of the Summer Storm, one of their armies, he's had enough. And yep. I turn around to a big old shield right in my face, and he cuts us down like paper. And it was amazing. And I'm hoping that they enjoyed it, because I certainly did.
Yep.
Because RP in battles, more of it. Give us more. I love it.
Oh, so fucking good, isn't it?
Sure, the fighting's fun, but there's nothing worse than silence in a battle line. You want them to be shouting abuse at you.
Oh, yeah. That's stuff. The best bit. It is the best bit.
Exactly.
Oh, like, there's never been a point in a battle where I've been like, oh, that particular fight with those, like, few guys in that line where I was hitting them a bit and then fell back and then hit them again. That was really cool. No, it's the case of that little shit orc in the back of the line with the red trousers who's been stalking me for the past hour because I'm a mouthy little shit.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. So essentially that guy, what the Grendel tend to do is that they do pick out their kills. And sort of say, all right, that one we're going to sell for like a couple crowns. The other one is like, fucking throne or so, let's see if they want it. Yeah. It was, and this one particular little shit of an orc with red trousers and like a woolen loincloth type stitch, I full on gave them a tirade of abuse at one point, and they just went for me for the rest of the fight. Like, if they saw me, they went into like stalking crouch and just went, you get it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing.
So cool.
Just the sense of pure threat and danger in those fights was fantastic.
Yeah, it was another tough one. I mean, when I wasn't around for the end because I died right before the retreat happened, and so we weren't allowed to respawn. But it all went to shit, I heard, as you were trying to retreat, because retreating in Larps in combat in general is very difficult.
Yep.
Someone will always be left behind to fight and die.
Yeah, and unfortunately that was Aveen. That was our scout leader.
In total, the Empire lost 83, and I'm pretty sure the majority of them happened during that retreat. Probably at least 60 of them, I'd say, because I didn't see a lot of bodies during the main fights.
Oh, yeah. It was littered by the end. Absolutely littered.
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, because I know one of the main reasons why that was obviously due to the Black Plateau oppression. If you are engaged with something, like if you've got someone yelling abuse at you, or if you've got someone who wants to fight you, you will respond to that, because that's the curse now. That's what you have to cope with. If you're retreating and someone is yelling abuse at you, you want to go and fucking fight them. You don't want to stay there and retreat. You don't want to show that you're backing down. And so that's partially, I think, what made so many casualties, because of the curse. But yeah, luckily I couldn't really get too caught up in that, because just before the retreat, I got shot in the back with an arrow, and I had nothing left. So I fell over, shrieking my head off, swearing bloody murder at this archer, going, "Come on then! Go on then, if you want to go. I'll fucking fight you on the floor, you dickhead." And they were just like, a couple in the Vari next to me going, "No, you fucking won't." Just pick me up and start dragging me towards the hospital. And they get me on the hospital bed for 2 minutes into my bleed count. 57 more seconds, I'd have been very, very dead. But yeah, so that was a lovely bit of hospital RP where they fixed my traumatic wound and had a couple of surgeons' hands in my guts rearranging things and pulling out blood clots from between my punctured lungs. Yep. A lot of traumatic wounds and a lot of bad things happening that day.
Honestly, though,
great.
I think you deserved it.
Yeah, I really did.
You guys slaughtered lots of Grendel that day, and you didn't hold back. You executed, and
I did.
You slit throats and stuff.
I was.
Goya, Goya the Merciful, played by the lovely Emily in our little monstering unit, she was slaughtered by Dornish, and we were there as orcs, as Grendel orcs, mourning her, crying as she's dying, and these Dornish looked at us so confused, and it's like, yeah, we're bloody orcs, but we're still people. And then Mr. Chops, who is Goya's husband, turned and we're like, Chops, no, don't look, Goya's dead.
She's dying.
But we then pick her up and we bring her into the woods, and Nancy, who was our Grendel slave, or human slave to the Grendel, she healed Goya back up, and we got her on her feet and we healed her back. I was like, this is probably the best RP I've ever had in a battle, and I'm an orc.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And it was so funny because obviously you go there just like, kill every orc you see. When you're a player character, the idea is kill every orc. There's objectives, but you want to kill every orc you see. So it was so funny. There's only like
fucking
5 of
with
us,
their
and we haven't
minds.
even got our weapons up. We're looking at this body, and there's 5 Dornish in front of us. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're like, we should kill them, but
they haven't got a weapon.
Then, they're not attacking. They're
not a threat.
They're RPing. Do we kill them? They just sort of stood there and let us retreat and take this body back and heal it.
Just there, like,
it was a really funny moment just to see the perplexed looks on their faces.
Absolutely brilliant.
That's exactly what we wanted. We wanted RP that made it more than just fighting.
Yeah, I think that's excellent. Just because, the second that you get involved in RP with the monsters is when it becomes really fucking engaging and fun. But yeah, like I say, we were full on executing every single orc that got downed. Getting out my dagger for the execute and making eye contact, making a point to make eye contact with the orcs on the other side of the line before I plunge the dagger into their throat.
Give them a kiss on the forehead.
And at one point, precisely. And at one point, I executed one of them in a similar brutal fashion, and one of them, the orc I was making eye contact, just screamed and went, "Fucking get her for that!" Then I just went, "Heh," and just ran off again. So that was fucking hilarious. Proof that Imperials are totally the good guys.
You're the baddies. Although we weren't totally innocent from it, since our line was supplemented with shark heralds, who were warriors whose faces were basically shark heads, and when people were downed near them, they would get on their knees and start eating them.
Yep.
And I was not briefed about this beforehand, and so I played it very much that Bruce, my orcish character, did not know this was going to happen beforehand. And therefore, when I saw someone start eating a Dornish character, Bruce acted accordingly. Holy shit! What the fuck is that thing? And I'm there, like, weapons like by my side, not like in an aggressive stance anymore.
Yeah,
and I look towards the shark eating someone's stomach. With it, they've got like fake intestines that they pull out, and I look back to the Imperial line, and I look back to the shark and I look back to the Imperial line with a concerned look on my face, being like, "You guys should be fucking running. That's hideous." What? Christ! And they're there, like, not sure whether to laugh or cry as their friend is being consumed, because I had no idea.
Yep.
As the fight, before the fight started, we saw the shark things, and I was like, "That thing's hideous." And then Ivar, played by Aaron, he was like, "Oh, I think I've fallen in love." And then we see one eating one, and we're like, "Oh no,
that's not good. We don't want to go anywhere near that." Yeah, oh dear.
And a lot of people got eat. They got ate.
So many people got eaten.
They got nommed.
Got nommed. Yeah, actually fucking brutal. We all came off of that battlefield absolutely wrecked to shit. I staggered out from this hospital area where I've been flirting with the surgeons, obviously, with her hands deep in my guts. Because obviously this is what I find so funny, is that whenever I'm in the hospital, we'll make a point of having a flirt with the surgeons because they find it so fucking funny. They're like, "You're dying, you gimbucket. Why are you making a point of flirting now? What is your problem? Like, for fuck's sake, we are literally pouring fake blood all over your face, and you're just there like, will I still be pretty after this?" Silly child. But yeah.
Will I still be
pretty after this, Doc? And she's like, "You've always been pretty." And I was like, hey. It's great.
And I'm unconscious.
Oh hell yeah, and dead. But yeah, staggered out of the hospital and walked past what I knew to be the 2 feet, and I was like, "Oh hi, I'll go over and talk to them." I see a body on the floor, and I think she's just napping. So I was just like, "Is she okay? Is she dead?" And he just goes, "Yes." Yeah.
I walked past Mac later on as I was looking for you, actually, not sure if you'd survived. Walked past Mac, and he looked solemn. I'm like, "You're right?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "I'm just going to keep walking.
Gonna leave you be."
That's not a conversation I need to have. Find out later. I think they lost 2 in the 2 feet.
They did.
So I was like, that's not what I'm touching.
Nope. Mac will full on floor anybody. He does
will?
not give a shit. He's the best. But yeah, just walking past, and it was one of my friends as well. I can't remember her name, but bless her.
One of my friends whose name I don't remember.
Look, there are a lot of names at Empire, and there are a lot of people who I got very close with, and then I was like, wait, what the fuck? What even are names? What even are people?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just knew her as 2 feet lass, to be honest.
2 feet
and like
lass.
2 feet lass, and bless her heart, just sat on the floor, lying there, dead as a doornail.
No.
And like people were trying, like making jokes around us, and there was just this blob of solemnness where we're sat around this body, just in mourning for at least 5 minutes, then get up and stagger back to the Navari camp. And it was just the looks on the people we passed faces as we walked by, and they just knew, because we all looked absolutely wrecked. And then we obviously had a standing as well, an impromptu Navari standing after this, because we'd lost so many and it hurt so bad, where we all sort of gathered our wits. And it was at this point that we were told that a Cambion lad was executed in that battle, not by one of the Grendel or by a shark, but by a player.
Dun dun dun! There are baddies in the Empire.
There are baddies in the Empire. Oh my goodness, who even knew? But like, yeah,
this can be an Achilles, by the way.
It was Achilles,
the super rich Monopoly
the benefactor
guy. Yeah.
So
he's a big cheese. This guy.
He's big fucking cheese. Like has illustrated, colorized portraiture printed in icy books.
And also, I didn't realize it's a real dick kicker for me, because Reedon, and as well as a few other people he's rendered with, he spends a lot of his downtime sending his military unit resource that he has spying. Turns out, didn't realise, because Haddand, Claire, she organises a lot of the payment. However, Achilles is one of the main people that has been funding our little endeavours, because you don't get paid for spying. So that's a real annoying moment that he's dead, because I'm not going to get any more mana crystals.
Legit. And like, it's far bigger than
also
any of us realised. Also sad that he's dead, but because he was essentially financing the Navarre as well. Mm-hmm. He was financing our fucking nation. So
he was financing the Empire.
We have been sent to economic ruin thanks to this one arsehole. And here's the kicker. When the murderer was bringing down their blade, they yelled for the quiet step, which is a Navari criminal cartel. So we're sort of there in the standing going, oh my fucking God, either this is a really good frame job or a really shitty murder by one of our own, and we have been betrayed.
Yeah.
And we were all just there in this circle being like, okay, whichever son of a bitch did this, if they're here, they need to step forward, because if you make us find you, it will get nasty. Like, I have never seen the generals look more scary in my life. It was fantastic. But yeah, in the standing, something good did happen. One light little rainbow in the darkness. Yep. So our little coven of now 2. Yeah, we had a lovely little national artifact delivered to us as of last season, which is the singing rock.
You got a pet rock.
It's a singing rock, which it's really helpful. It's nice, it's shiny. It's a fucking huge fizz rep, which takes 4 people IC to carry, which is hilarious because we're a coven of 2. Yep. But essentially, it empowers spring rituals, and they were holding like a vote to see which coven got this stone to help them and empower them. And they were there in the standing, and this guy just goes, so we've decided that it would be fair that the coven to receive the stone is the Bloodbark coven. And me and Lucas are just there, racked with grief, just going, oh, okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Okay. Oh, are you sure? Us, really? And they were like, yeah, mate. So we got up and bled on it for a bit, as Navari do.
Nice.
Just slap our fucking bleeding hands on this shit.
It's quite funny, because I've seen a photo of Emma's Naga character licking that rock.
Yep, and that's had so that's fun, Emma. You've now licked a rock I've bled on. How's that feel?
Do not lick the rock that bleeds.
Do not lick the rock that bleeds. But yeah, we bled on it for a bit, and then like full on slammed our palms together when they were sliced, making a blood pact, and just went, we will use this rock for the good of the nation. We will use this to cast with other rituals to empower our nation against the Valorn. And after that, we led a massive chant of strength to the Empire, strength to Navarre. And it was fucking incredible. Like, the sense of camaraderie I felt with the nation in that moment, leading this chant where every single person in the nation was screaming the chant back at me, was beautiful.
Yeah, so awesome.
So fucking cool. And then we sort of had a nice moment of sitting down and having a hug and being like, oh,
a little
he's
cry.
dead. Yeah, he's dead, but we have to carry on. We have to be strong for Tavian. And we have to be strong for everyone we lost. And sort of help Pip get back into her usual, oh my god, it's spring self. And run around the rest of the day trying to cheer everyone along.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that was Sunday. And after that, we had to go and have a little cry.
Yeah. I didn't really do anything beyond the battle on Sunday. I'm always so defeated after the fight on Sunday. I just sort of start packing, and that's it.
Yeah, like there we go.
Got some food, and I'm like, I'm done now.
Index, lads. Yep. To be honest, you've had a long day of murdering us. You've had a long day. Oh, it was a good time though.
It was an incredible event. Perfect weather. Go back to that because we're very British. And then everything was busy,
British.
And I was fighting what felt like constantly, and RP and all. It was a good RP in that event.
Fucking good times.
Looking forward to the next one, which is it's a short break between E2 and 3. I think it's only about 4 weeks.
Oh my fucking god!
Yeah, it's in about a month's time for the summer event, which is always confusing since the spring event is in June and the winter event is in April. A
little bit strange, but we'll leave it. It's fine. Just don't think about it.
Well, I don't want it to be any closer to winter than it actually is.
No,
considering it was that bloody cold in April.
Yep.
But yeah, I honestly probably the best Emperor I think I've had. Looking forward to more Droopy Bruce fighting.
Yeah. Stay tuned for more
Maybe
shenanigans.
See if we can do some skirmishes. I don't really know how the rules work with that. We'll have to ask.
We'll have a find out. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do believe that we've got one more thing to see to this episode, though.
I don't even know if we have time because it's been about an hour and a half.
Oh.
We may have to leave it for this episode. I don't know. What do you think? Because it has been an hour and a half.
Shall we just sling an answer to this cheeky question because they've been waiting for so long?
Oh, okay, so
and they did ask it a long time ago.
So unfortunately, there will be no on your left this episode.
No, we'll do that next time because we have frothed for a long time now.
It's true. I knew this was going to happen, but who cares?
Because we are crazy. We are crazy keeners.
On our 4th episode, someone commented asking a few extra questions because that was our episode tailored more towards new players and such. And so they asked us our recommendations on systems for new players, as well as I'm getting it up here. They also asked about how we go about traveling to events. I think that was the gist of it. I can get the comment up here. Inbox. Should have had this prepared. Kind of forgot about it.
Flange. We're professional.
Don't play this.
Doing it live. Oh gosh.
Reception. Okay, here we go. Through all 3 replies. Yeah. So interested. He's got his colleague who does Empire, and he wants to know best way to travel there.
Yep.
And also, what do we do for character weapons?
Right.
And when he asked his colleague, he got the answer, I don't know, I'm not an expert, mate.
Oh.
Well, I'm here to tell you, neither are we, but we're gonna try our best.
Gonna give it a go.
I think we mentioned it on that episode. I think I said that I would personally recommend Empire as a first LARP purely because it caters to whether you want to be involved in everything or nothing. That I won't go into too much detail, but basically, since it is so broad, you only get involved in as much as you go looking for. You get out what you put in. And so that means you can just sit in your tent and drink, or you can run around chasing plot the entire weekend and you get exactly what you pay for there.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my
that's your spiel. So for me, I would say if you have a fairly good budget, then yes, Empire as a first event. But if you have something where you're not entirely in a place where you can afford lots of kit, then I would suggest possibly going to Future's End as a first system.
Waving
because
flag.
had to come, didn't it? But because Future's End is a modern superhero system, so you can sort of just wear your own clothing as kit, jazz it up a bit if you want, but you don't have to spend out the arse. You don't have to get super medieval stuff. You don't have to worry about being icy, being super immersive all the time with all the stuff you bring onto the field, and it's just it can be a bit less stressful if that's what you're looking for. So I would say if you are looking for a new system, Empire or Future's End are the ones to go to. Yeah.
I'll say I do bloody love Future's End. Like, I absolutely adore it. And I've said before, I will not reveal whether it is my favourite system on FMUF. So that will remain ambiguous. Yeah.
Yes.
I do definitely wave the flag as well.
Oh, totally. It all very much depends on what you want to get out of it,
For sure.
and what you feel comfortable doing for your first ever time in LARP. Just those are our recommendations for first systems. Oh yeah.
First systems.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we answered a question.
Okay.
Oh
my god, so proud
Traveling.
Yes.
Do just get a car.
Get a car. Seriously, like I say this because I have to public transport my way there most of the time, and it's fucking gash. It's fucking gash.
All right. I was joking about the car thing. Not everyone can afford a car. We have to also try and sell public transport.
I'm so cross at life.
Public transport can be gash.
What I say is, if you are going to public transport, make sure you have a backup plan. For one thing. For another thing, if you are transporting weapons, make sure you have covered them appropriately.
Definitely.
You don't want to get stopped. Seriously, you do not want to get stopped by the transport police. It's just a lot of palaver. Don't even worry about it. Just wrap it in blankets. You can wrap it in blankets, which is what I do. People use bin bags for pole arms and such. But I would say avoid sort of pole weapons if you're going on planes, trains and buses and that sort of thing. Just because it will make your life easier, really.
Yeah. So public transport can sort you out most of the way. Obviously, getting between train stations and the site can often be difficult. However, if you're looking at bigger systems like Empire, they have Facebook groups tailored to travel arrangements. I'm sure other large systems do. Other systems like Future's End, for example, they will just have a big Facebook, and I'm sure out of how lovely everyone is at a LARP, they would be perfectly willing to get you from the nearest train station and take you there. If not, if you want to avoid public transport entirely, the same travel arrangement pages have people organising either just car sharing, or perhaps some people organise minibuses from certain places. I think Leeds, for example, to Empire, they do a minibus. So just post in on the Facebook groups for trying to see if anyone else is going from your way to get you to sites.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, with a lot of things about LARP, it's a very similar concept of shake the LARPer phone tree and see what falls out.
Yeah.
Because there is a big old community out there of very helpful people, and I swear down now, if you reach out, someone will help you.
Yeah. For example, I have to get Ella from the train station every bloody time she comes to Empire.
Yeah, but it's all for a good cause. It's all for a good cause, isn't it?
And when I was told all I had to do was take her back to that train station on the Sunday, her phone broke, inverted commas, or floating commas, or whatever I called them, hovering commas.
Hovering commas, yeah.
And so I had to drive her all the bloody way back to Frome.
Because he's literally a saint.
Yeah. So don't take advantage of your
Excuse
your
you!
But,
I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
No, it's fine.
Ugly sobbing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be
And
prepared for things to go wrong, essentially.
Always get McDonald's after the event.
Always get a McDonald's. If you can yell Big Mac and McDonald's at a Campia and generally scare the shit out of them, you're doing it well.
Yeah, for sure.
Faux shizzle. My goodness, what a time. Like, I didn't go in with Navari trappings on my face this time, though, to McDonald's. No. Wash the face.
We did the drive-through this time, and I was the only one in the car still wearing my tunic and like baggy trousers, and I was the one who had to go and take the rubbish and put it in the bin in front of everyone. Which was good fun. I didn't mind. I was too tired to care.
Legit.
Yeah.
Funny times.
The last part of the question being on... so they say they know where to get gear, charity shops and Primark. You are correct, sir.
Yes.
But getting weapons is their question.
Right.
So that's a big thing, basically, because the internet is filled with lovely sellers and weapon sellers. However, for quality, for one, you want to be able to see the weapon in person. For
Yep.
weighting, making sure the weapon is right for you, because every weapon has a different weighting, how close to the hilt, far away from the hilt, and you want the wand chooses the wizard kind of way.
Mr.
You want to make
Potter.
sure it's something you like. So I will always recommend and swear by only buying it in person. So if you're coming to a system like Empire, they have weapon sellers in field, hundreds of them. Well, not hundreds of sellers, but hundreds of weapons to choose from, and they all allow you to try it out and swing them around beforehand. Small systems such as Future's End do not often have that facility. So what I will recommend for that is there are conventions, LARP conventions, such as What's Your Game and LARPCon, which are basically just where sellers get together and barter their goods and let you try them out. Also at those conventions, there are people advertising their LARP systems, so it's a good way of finding LARPs in your area and that fit your kind of interests. You know, if you want a pirate LARP, for example, you could find one there and find out where it is.
Exiled.
Exiled. Bring out more tickets, please.
We give you that promo.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fifth on the waiting list.
But yeah, I very much agree. If you can swing it around in person, I would very much advocate for that rather than buying it online, because that is very much a hit and miss thing.
Yes.
But there are a few sellers that I will point you to.
We're not sponsored. God damn it.
Look. Just because there are two sellers that I would very much point to, which is Gems Trading Company and Mike Light. Because these two I have bought things from over the years, and these are the two that I would recommend as just the go-to places.
Hey,
because
Gems, how about a discount?
How about a discount?
Hey, Gems.
How about that? But yeah, they're amazing. They're so good with customer service, and they will let you swing around the weapons and things and try it out. And also the stuff that I've got from them lasts for a fuck ton of time. Like it just doesn't quit. It's great.
Not wrong.
Doesn't fucking quit. Like my rapier from Mike Light, still fucking going. I have been a complete nonce to this rapier because I'm me and I'm a nonce. But if it can survive my fighting style, you will be fine. And it's a little bit costlier than some of the others. It's about £10 or £20 more than the cheapest stuff on the market. But you do get what you pay for with LARP weapons. So I would very much say get something more expensive that is better quality rather than something cheaper that will not last as long.
Yeah. If you are,
yeah,
definitely. I'd agree. As much as I talk about us not being sponsored, but yeah, there is amazing quality, and I'm getting myself one soon. If you are on the complete other end of the spectrum and you are basically living off a block of cheese and a baked bean can, like I have been, I have been student years using the end of a block of cheese to scrape out the bottom of a baked bean can.
Yep.
If you're that kind of skint, there are Facebook pages set up for selling pre-owned kit, and once again, it is a risk buying things online that you must take yourself. However, I do know people that have had good experiences with it. Sam bought his sword from one. I almost bought it, but he sniped it from me, which is fair enough because I do already have a sword. But I can't remember the names of all of them, but if you find one, you normally find them all through Facebook algorithm. So UK LARP kit is quite a good one.
Yep, there's Empire LARP kit as well. That's one.
Buy and sell LARP kit. I think there's loads, but
there is.
Most of the time, if someone posts something on one, it's on all 5 of them. But,
exactly.
Sometimes they do have different stuff.
And like also, if you're really that bad, this is where, and again, the LARPer Facebook community of tree shaking stuff.
Definitely, 100%.
If you are already in a LARP Facebook group, post to there saying, "Does anyone have a weapon I can borrow?"
Yep.
Because if you are that bad, there is someone who will be able to help you. I promise you that.
For sure. My first ever Empire event, I turned up with nothing but my soft kit, so just my clothes, essentially, and I, before the event, messaged into the nation group, so I'm in Wintermark, so I posted in Wintermark saying, hey, I have no idea what I'm doing, I have soft kit, I have no haul, I've never LARPed before, can someone show us the ropes? I wasn't asking to join a haul or anything, I just said, can someone give us a hand, kit us out, so we can at least fight and get an experience, me and my friend Sam. And Chris Moore, the lovely gem of a man, he said, yeah, sure, we're not inviting you to our group, but we will kit you out with chainmail, sword, shield, you can fight with us, probably die, but have a good time. Didn't die, joined their haul, bam, finger guns.
So
I was lent weapons, shields, chainmail, everything I needed to fight. And that's because LARPers, especially people that have been doing it for a long time, have more weapons than they can use, and everyone is incredibly friendly and helpful. one of my friends who joined Empire, I was like, I haven't got anything to give you, but post on the Facebook, and he was picked up instantly, and I hope he had an amazing time this event, as it was his first event. I did see him with armor and stuff that I'm assuming he was lent.
Oh, bless him.
I mean, yeah. Everyone probably has their spare suit of slightly rusty chainmail in the boot of their car.
Yeah,
that'll maybe fit you, but sure, like it does the job.
Exactly. Just don't be afraid to reach out to the community, because we don't bite. We're all fairly nice. At least OC, we don't bite anyway. Shoulder laugh. Yeah, just that is, I think, all the advice we have for that one. I think that's pretty much nailed.
Just do it.
Just do it. Exactly.
Let me just reread that, see if there's anything else we missed out on there. Oh, I've closed it on my phone because I'm an absolute noob. What is podcast?
What? How do podcast?
Yeah,
how do you record?
That was Dan Hands who sent that in. Thank you.
Hi, Dan Hands.
He pre-texted that comment with, "These podcasts are hilarious." So, you sir, are a legend.
Yes, thank you for the comment as well. We very much like having comments on our videos.
I had a little squee whilst I was at work. I work in an office environment, a very quiet office environment. So when I squee, it is a moment of
what the fuck is wrong with you?
What the fuck's going on? And I was like, just sort of squeeing and messaging Ella. Holy shit, we actually got a genuine comment.
Yeah.
I say comment/question.
Quashment.
And so we're sorry it took so long to get to it, but like I said, it's all Ella's fault.
Yes. Well, shut up. No, it wasn't. This is your fault. Don't make me agree to things I'm not agreeing with. But yes, thank you for the comment. We hope that helped. And hope to see you in a Larp field soon.
Definitely. Either Future Send or Empire, I'll see you either.
Exactly. And if you do see us, come say hi.
And if you do see us, I'll tell you which one's my favourite.
Oh my goodness. That's a reason to hunt him down in the field. Just be like, tell me what's your favourite. Get the jag out.
Yeah.
Doors down. Amazing.
Doors down.
Doors down.
Well, we'll do another one of these, and it won't be 4 weeks this time.
No,
and we'll get
sorry.
back to our more. I think after whenever we do LARP events, we will do a bit of a highlight thing. It's good to froth about it. It's always healthy to have a bit of froth. But in the in-between episodes, we'll go back to a normal format of talking random bullshit on your left. Maybe some other questions and stuff. We did find some questions on like Yahoo and stuff we were going to do. The one about mermaids, as I remember. So there's plenty more content to come. So hopefully that will spur us to keep making these.
Stay tuned.
It was absolutely lovely in the field to be berated by people having to go at us for leaving such a long hiatus. Luke in particular.
Luke.
He was saying, hurry up and make another one. I need something to listen to whilst I'm at work.
Ash. So. Oh, Emily as well.
Yep. I mean, it was surprising how many people. I didn't expect it.
Yes.
So thank you. I wasn't sure if the 100 and so views on a couple of our videos was just one person, either me or Ash, just pressing refresh.
Yeah.
I did have a moment of thinking, is there 100 views or is it just me constantly checking on the video?
Yeah. Is it just the algorithm taking a piss?
Yeah.
But no, thank you so much, everyone. Really, just your motivation and your keen has really kept us going, and coming back to this now is really fucking rewarding.
If this was a video, you'd be able to see me dancing right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing a cheeky dab, but you can't see it. Oh,
we'll do some vlogs at some point. No schedule on those. Don't expect them or wait for them. They'll eventually be on there.
We are
when Ella doesn't sound like a chain smoker.
When I don't sound like a chain smoker, I will be working on a new segment that we're preparing. So that should be fun. Look forward to it. And stay tuned for more FMUF in the future.
FMUF.
FMUF. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
La, la, la.